On this episode, we hit a major milestone with episode 800, and we're celebrating with a few surprises, a lot of stories, and a little bit of pixie dust. Today's August 22nd, 2025, and this is episode 800 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys!
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, get the latest theme park news, as well as live streams from the parks and resorts, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
So I feel like this is becoming our trip around the sun for Main Street Magic. And we are on our 800th episode.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So we were talking about, we're like, wait, when does this always happen? It's always been it's always been August because we do 2 episodes a week. So it's 104 a year. Okay. But obviously then that each year it gets a little bit earlier in the year. You know what I mean? Because we do just slightly more episodes in the year. So episode 800. That's crazy. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners, very, very much.
As I say, probably way too much.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, seriously. And please keep listening and subscribing and sharing and telling your friends and all. We really do appreciate it. But we're going to get into number 800. If you listen to 700 last year, we kind of took a tour around Tom Sawyer's Island and Rivers of America area. We walked through Hollywood Studios and Muppets Courtyard and kind of did this live, memories and questions and thinking about what was coming, which is really neat to go back and listen to now, because now we know so much more about those areas and, the predictions that we thought, whether they came true or not. But for this one, we decided to tour some of the deluxe resorts, most notably the ones around Magic Kingdom and the monorail, and then over around EPCOT and the boardwalk area. So we had a set of questions for each resort. We're going to share some memories. And just join us, I guess, here on the Main Street Magic tour of number 800 around the Walt Disney World resorts.
Lush vegetation, white sand beaches, and the laid-back spirit of the islands are the inspiration behind Disney's Polynesian Village Resort.
All right, so we're kicking off episode 800 at the Polynesian Village Resort as we tour around the deluxe resorts and answer some questions. Are you ready to get into it, Rhonda?
Yes.
So this first set at the Poly will be kind of like going back to the beginning a bit. What was the first Disney trip you remember truly falling in love with the parks?
Well, I always like to go back to Kaylin, of course, when she was 18 months. But to be truthfully honest, I remember specifically one of the trips that you and I went on that it was just with your parents and me and you. It was before kids. It was after we were married. And watching you through it. I think I've always loved Disney. You know, I was a Disney kid.
You grew
lived
up
in Florida.
Near it. Yeah.
Correct. One of my fondest memories is almost losing Figment. I had a stuffed animal, and we were trying to make the boat, and my parents were making me run, and I was like, what if I lose him? I loved Figment back then. So I've always loved Disney. But watching you and knowing that I was spending my life with you, it really made me go, wow, I can love this for life now.
The parks are me.
The parks, but you too.
Man, I got nothing then to beat that.
Sorry,
I don't have specific memories of the trips between when I moved here and before we had kids. Like, I don't remember those.
You don't remember that trip with your parents?
I don't. I remember the one with my parents and your parents and camping at Fort Wilderness and us sleeping in the tent on my parents' site with their trailer. Your parents staying down the road at the Hampton Inn, us taking Kaylin. We had Rex with us. He ate corn on the cob for the first time. And it was your 30th birthday and Kaylin was 18 months old. Like, that I remember. But I don't remember the stuff prior to that, which is strange because... And were you in love with the parks as a kid that you remember?
Probably. Yeah. I was probably always very excited to go.
Yeah. Did you guys go often?
I would probably say, my parents didn't have a ton of money. So I would say once every few years or something.
Yeah.
But I watched Disney constantly at home. I had all the Disney stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have something specific to parks. Mine will always go back to that 21 Pilots concert at House of Blues when we went and we stayed at French Quarter.
Yes.
And it was our first time staying at anything other than an All-Star or the campground. And we didn't do any parks, but I remember being at French Quarter and taking the boat over to Disney Springs, seeing the concert, coming back, all of that, and being like, there's a lot more to Disney than just the parks.
Yes, I remember you said, yes.
And being like, okay, like, we can come here all the time and not have to just do parks. Like, look at this resort. And that was before we had even gone to any others.
Right.
Like, this is the first time I stepped foot on a moderate resort property, I believe.
Probably.
So prior to that, I didn't even know what they were like. You know, you're used to the All-Stars, you're used to Fort Wilderness and all, but I think that was the moment I just fell in love with, like, Disney World as a whole.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, I've been kind of falling in love with the parks all over again, especially after, the trip in March for Main Street 16 weekend when we hit the parks hard for 2 days. After this trip with Kaylin and Talon the other weekend, like, really going and doing the parks the way they were meant to be done has made me kind of fall in love with them all over again. Aww. So that part's been super cool. This one I probably will have to field, but we'll see what you remember about what's the original idea behind the podcast name. Do you remember the original podcast name?
The original one? No.
Yeah, because it's actually my login for our GoDaddy account, which holds all of our URLs.
What is it?
It was making memories magical, or making magical memories. See how it doesn't flow off? It's hard to say. It's a lot. It's kind of a tongue twister.
Okay.
And so that's what we were going with. I think I had a URL secured. I had the GoDaddy account, and I think I just kept looking at it going, this is hard to say. Like I can't remember, making magical memories or making memories magical. It's just like, it's a lot.
Either way.
It would have just been MMM. Like, just, you know what I mean? Oh. So I don't know where Main Street Magic came from.
Well, I mean, obviously,
I remember sitting on our couch
in
the house.
Main Street of
yes.
Magic Kingdom.
Yes, and that's where it came from, and the magic of it all. But it wasn't like an epiphany moment that I remember. You're like, this will be it. It was the second name I chose.
Oh.
And I think it's a good one.
And he probably asked me, and I was like, not on it, not supposed to be a part of it. So
right.
I was like, okay,
you're like, you don't care.
That sounds good.
I remember sitting on the
Street
couch
Magic.
and coming up with it and looking at the URLs and then purchasing. There was not mainstreetmagic.com available, so I got Main ST Magic and then built all the socials off of that. I don't know if I'd change anything going back, because while we hope to certainly expand at some point and talk more about than just Walt Disney World parks, every Disney park in the world is going to have a Main Street. They're all going to have magic, so that fits. And if we ever became something that was doing, weekly or regular Universal specific or outside of Disney episodes, I think we'd come up with a partnering podcast that would be separate from this one. You know what I mean? So I think it will always stick and it should always fit, regardless of what we do as it relates to Disney.
Right.
Which, going back then, when you're starting a podcast, like, I didn't think of that. I wasn't
Right.
thinking ahead. I just thought that name sounds cool,
No,
and I can get main ST Magic URL, and I can get every URL or every social media handle that matches it. We should stick with this because that's hard to find.
Yes.
You know, as I go through the process of a new project and getting URLs and social media accounts and all of this, I had to adjust some things because things I wanted weren't available. So sometimes sometimes that works in your favor of this is going to help pick the name for me.
Right.
And that's kind of how this went. So, but I think it worked out well.
Yeah.
And it's not going anywhere. If you could go back and record our first episode again, what would you do differently?
Again, our first episode.
Remember, you and I recorded the very first episode.
And you scratched it.
I did. I hated every part of it, and got rid of it. And that was more of a timing issue to start because I wanted to get this thing off the ground. The original co-host I had an idea for it, fell through. And so then that's when I spoke to our friend John down the street and we started it. But
you had somebody before John?
Yeah, well, you know it. We'll share it off air.
Oh.
I had somebody else lined up, and then that wasn't going to happen. So I was like, well, shoot. So then I had to pivot, picked up John, but it was like, he was still traveling a lot. We were still getting things together, and I was like, I want to get this started. So I think from the beginning, my mind was a little bit of, Rhonda will be a part of this if she needs to be. So we recorded that very first episode. Hated everything about it. Completely deleted, scratched it. I wish I had saved it to go back to, but it's gone forever.
It is.
It's gone
Are you sure?
It's gone from the universe. I'm pretty sure.
Nothing's supposedly ever gone.
Yeah, this was before major cloud storage and so I don't believe it exists. But what would you do? Let's say we started all over again, and it was you and I from the very beginning. What would you see that first episode being like? Because for John and I, it was kind of an introduction of ourselves, but it was also just finding our way through.
Right.
How the heck do you do a podcast? You know what I mean?
And probably what people want to listen to, what sparks interest, what is not going to be boring, what is not going to be like, oh, I don't want to listen to this. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Well, since we did, I don't remember that being where it was the very
I think we
first.
did introductions of ourselves. I remember talking about Wilderness Lodge.
I mean, it makes sense, but I'm saying I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember listening to podcast once you were doing it with John, and I just remember being like, I don't want to be negative. I want to be honest and possibly always put a positive spin on it.
Which you did.
Which I try to, because unfortunately sometimes the world can be negative. So I always want to be the sunshine. My mommy used to always call me that anyways. So with all that being said, I think, I hate to say it like this, I don't think I would change anything. Because I wasn't on it, I wasn't.
Right.
If I could change it and it just be us from the beginning. Again, this is where it's so hard. Part of me is like, I wouldn't, because we are who we are today because of that.
Agreed.
If we would have changed it and I would have started from the beginning, I don't know who I would be. I might not be Sunshine. I might be the person that y'all are like, oh God, I don't want to listen to that.
I don't think that ever come out of you.
Okay.
You've still done this for over 700 episodes.
But still.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy, but I don't know. What would you?
Well, it's a hard one to look at because when you go back at the time, you have to make a decision on, are you making a podcast for other people or are you making it for yourself?
You were making it for other people.
Right. So you then have to look at it as this can't be about only the things that I like and I enjoy or we enjoy.
Right.
So you have to expand beyond that and go, all right, we need to focus on what other people want to hear.
And that's why you
had
had John.
Which is what we've done, right. Because he had all the experience in the world.
And it's been going since the Contemporary was open.
Yeah, since it opened.
Right. So it made sense.
Yes. And it was good. And I agree, I don't think we would change anything because it got us to where we are today. Now, there's plenty of stuff in the middle that I would change, but not necessarily from that beginning, because I do think it was a good start. Because the other thing you have to look at is, there's 1 billion podcasts in the world. Now, there were Not as many when we started, but they were still a ton,
Right.
7-8 years ago. But then you have to look at going, all right, and this is the hardest part about doing any kind of content creation, is you have to go, all right, we have to create something that hundreds, if not thousands of other people are creating. But we have to figure out a way for people to watch or listen to ours.
Right.
And that's tough.
Oh, I bet.
Very, very tough. So that's one where I think just the organic way of just doing them and just being who we are. And when you came into the show, it let people kind of into the lives of just a married couple that loves Disney. People probably got more, bit off more than they could chew since then, because we get very personal and honest and all that stuff. But I don't think I would really change anything from the beginning. Part of me wishes we could go back and you and I record that first episode, just because of where we ended up. And then even if the second episode was, oh, and by the way, here's another co-host, John, and then we did our thing, and you know what I mean? Like, I think it would have been neat to go back and do that first one again.
Yeah.
But hindsight's 20/20. Nobody can go back. If you go back and have the knowledge you have now, well, that's just not fair.
Right.
So if you went back, you probably wouldn't change anything because you did it that way for a reason. So that's kind of my thought.
And again, I feel like even the movies you watch, you wouldn't be who you are today.
Correct.
You would be somebody completely different.
Everything molds you into who you are.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. What was, and I don't think the Poly is going to do it. We're in the lobby. It's busy. This is one of the things I will say. We get to stay here some.
Yes.
We have a couple times. We are getting to stay, thanks to
more
wonderful friends
thanks
like
to
Amy
our
and Chuck.
friends.
And my brother.
Yes.
Yes. We're getting to stay in the tower. Thanks to Chuck and Amy. Stay with them in the new Poly Tower in September. It's hard to come and sit here right now as people who aren't paying to stay here tonight and see all these people thinking you're dropping $600-700 a night. And we almost had a hard time finding a seat in a very busy, loud lobby where I bet a large portion of people are not staying here.
Really?
It's what we've always talked about with Grand Flow during Christmas.
Right.
I would love to stay at Grand Flow during Christmas.
I think that most people right now are either staying or eating. It's just a busy
There's a lot
place.
checking in. I will say there's a lot of people checking in and probably waiting around. But in general, you go to Grand Flow during Christmas to see the gingerbread house. Not
that
this Christmas,
is where,
but
right.
And which, by the way, I'm interested to get over there because they've already started a ton of work on the lobby and the new bar lobby at Grand Flow. So we'll get to see what that looks like. But anyway, I don't think this is going to fit the weirdest place we've ever recorded.
Oh, where would you say the weirdest place?
Outside of Caribbean Beach with that college group when Disney nicely approached us and said, I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave the property of Caribbean Beach if you're not staying here. Yeah. You would have needed media approval to sit here and record, which we didn't know. We thought it was a pretty innocent thing we were doing in the corner, and we got most of it out. You can go back and listen to that episode with Franklin College. That was weird because I think the whole situation, not only were we getting to sit outside at Disney, at a resort, which we've done other times.
100%.
We got to do it with a whole group of like 20 college kids who were Q&A style.
It was really cool. But we had mics, we were legit.
Oh, we had legit mics, and we had kids standing up in front of us with a mic in their hand asking questions.
Correct.
Again, that's one of those things. If you want to go back and talk about recording the first episode again, I'd go back and do something like that differently, knowing what we knew now. We weren't trying to do anything, that wasn't right. We just didn't know any better.
Right.
As we sit here now, nobody can really know we're recording a podcast. We've got these wireless mics. It's much more subtle.
And we set up we're talking to each other.
If we set up an entire digital recorder here with cables that plugged into the wall, plugged into microphones, it'd be a different story. But for me, that was kind of crazy. Do you have one? I mean, we've done the car, we've done resorts. Back when Jared and I did Diz Dudes, he and I did the 100th episode in the middle of the day at an unopened Three Bridges Bar and Grill inside. Which was pretty cool to have an opportunity to do that.
I mean, I thought it was really cool when you were starting to try to do this type of formation of recording. with mics and stuff, and when we did the parks and we were on Tom Sawyer Island.
That was episode 700.
Yeah. I think that was really cool because that was you wanted to start doing something different, and that was something, and I don't know if the correct word obviously is weird.
It's weird to walk around a park with a format of a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're trying to do more YouTube videos. We're going to test out some stuff this weekend. You know, we did some with our phone. I got a new camera we're going to try out. But that one makes a little more sense because you go, all right, we're going to go do these things. These are the things we need to film. It's weird when you're walking to a park with a outline and a set of questions.
Yeah.
Like, my thought was, hey, do we want to walk around Poly? Do we want to walk around Grand Flow and Contempo when we get there and record and answer these questions? But it makes it that much harder to put that concentration, like when we record in the car and you're driving, which you still do an amazing job of.
Yes, thank you, because sometimes I feel like if anybody can hear of spots that Rhonda doesn't sound like she's doing too well, it's because I'm totally concentrating.
It's because you're making sure we stay alive.
Yeah.
So I would rather that.
But I'm just saying, like, this is nice because I'm not looking and trying to watch where I'm walk. I'm not trying to look at other people. And to be fair, unfortunately, we'd have to do a lot of outside walking right now.
Yeah, and it's just too much.
And it's hot.
Yeah.
It's very hot in Florida right now.
I also still get slightly out of breath, and then and not because I'm walking and talking and thinking. Listen,
So now
I can
you know
walk,
what
I can walk 10 miles around the neighborhood.
performers feel?
I don't understand how they do it. It's also why I have zero issue with things like a Super Bowl having a halftime show that is pre-recorded and it's lip-synced. Because the logistics behind doing that live is almost impossible.
Right.
Now, when you go and you watch something like some of these artists, okay, we watched Blue October play for 3 hours. That's pretty dang impressive. But there's not a lot of physical activity to them. When you think of some of these folks that are dancing, and I mean, heck, we're going to go see this, in a couple weeks now, we'll go see this Descendant Zombie Worlds Collide tour.
Yeah.
They're going to be singing and dancing for an hour and a half, 2 hours straight.
I'm so excited.
I can't walk around a Disney resort and talk without getting out of breath, so that makes it a little difficult.
Well, these children will also be like probably 15, 16, 17, and 18.
We can be all of their parents.
And we are 45-year-old people.
This is true. So, but yeah, it's those kind of times, and then, you know, sometimes we record in a weird place out of necessity.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's
the
for
campground.
enjoyment. Campground is my favorite place to record.
It's not weird, but it was, again, that's to me a hard word to use because it's not like, weird to me I think would be like on the monorail and we just sit there and record and go and just ride and record the whole thing. Which then people would be coming in and out and
that
then
is weird.
and I'm not, I feel like I'm not that look at me person. I want that camera. I want that.
It's a reason we don't have a
Correct.
fully fledged out successful YouTube channel because we really don't want people to look at us.
Well, no, I mean they have to, and that's fine. But I'm not the one to be like.
They get to.
Okay, sure.
They don't have to look at us. They get to look at us or hear us.
Yeah.
And we appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart.
Campground is a blast.
Yes.
Because it's secluded enough, but it's different.
Yeah.
Like, I loved this last time we did it at the beginning of June, just sitting in our camp chairs, just talking. And like right now, we're having a conversation. We have direction with questions, but we're just having a conversation.
Right.
So sometimes though, we get into kind of that necessity of, on the way down here, by the way, we recorded episode 792, which was surprising your family or making an announcement about a Disney trip.
Yes.
That was a necessity because we ran out of time. We've been so busy. But we at least try to work it in where it's like, hey, we're going on a trip to Disney right now. So let's talk about how you can surprise your family when you go on the same thing. So at least try and make it work. Alabama, your parents' back porch, looking out into nothingness. We did record a couple episodes.
Oh, that's right.
North Carolina,
That was
in the
weird.
mountains, in the basement of that
was cool.
house that we rented with your family. We recorded a couple episodes.
Okay, those are the weird places because again, this is me. This is all me. for over 700 episodes now, I will look at Jeremy and go, we need to record. We need to record. We need to record. And he probably over the years got so sick of me hearing that. But that is why y'all get all these episodes.
That's why you got 2 episodes a week for
because
8 years.
I am a big stickler on, especially if people are like caught up, if you're one of those, and I appreciate you more than anything in the world, diehards, and you were literally waiting for the next episode to come out, that is me. Because I am like, Jeremy, people listen to us and we have to. Because if I'm excited for an episode of something coming, I mean, again, like, you know, people were like, what are you doing this weekend at Disney? And I'm like, well, we're actually working completely 100%. Yeah. We've got Test Track. We've got the new nighttime electrical parade, basically. It's just, the situation is that I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah.
So.
I had something to say after that.
I started to say.
I forgot what it was.
Something threw me off too.
These guys threw me off with what services is. I hope they found it's up there, fellas. I had somewhere to go. I guess we'll move on to the next question, which is, and we're going to wrap up every location with this. What is your favorite Polynesian Village resort memory?
Oh, I almost just got teary-eyed on this one. When we were with Chuck and Amy, we were standing on the beach and watching Happily Ever After.
Oh, that was a good one.
I mean...
That was recent.
Yeah, because I think you were sober.
Yeah, it was.
And it was one of my... Wow, I didn't think this would happen.
Someone's going to cover, ma'am, are you okay?
I know.
Blink twice if this man is bothering you.
It was one of my favorite memories because you were sober. And I felt like I was with family. I mean, because I am, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And then watching you and being on one of the resorts that we love.
Weren't
and
Jess and Landon with us? Yeah.
Yes. And it just...
That was a good one.
It was. Sorry, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, my beat mine. I mean, mine is...
I know, we're not in competition.
I know. And mine, I'm not trying, I don't want it to sound cocky that we got to do this, because remember, we didn't pay for it. This was a present from my brother as a bonus, basically, since I work for him, was sitting on our balcony.
Oh, yeah.
In our club level room with a theme park view when they did the Twilight Feast back pre-COVID. If you don't know what the Twilight Feast was, it was Ohana delivered to your room.
Oh, it's so good.
And they literally brought, I mean, we still don't have room service back. And I don't know that it's ever coming back, which is insane to me. But something like this, they literally wheeled up your little room service cart, and you had your salad, you had your pog juice, you had your bread, your coconut pineapple bread, you had your
Can we eat a
noodles, you know, you had your pot stickers, you had your chicken, you had everything brought to you.
Yeah.
And we sat on the balcony and ate Ohana basically and watched. Let's see, what year was that? I have to look what year it was. I think it was Happily Ever After though. It was 2019, right?
I think it was my
prior
40th?
to that. It was your 40th, so that would have been 6 years ago. So 2019.
5.
I'm sorry. Well, you're about to be. Oh God, you did just turn 46.
No, I didn't. I turned 40. Stop.
Holy moly.
No, I didn't.
So
I'm
that
45.
was 6 years ago.
No,
so yeah,
45.
2019. All right. But yeah, and it was awesome. The only thing that could have made that moment better is if we had been sitting in the little hot tub pool thing on the back of one of these bungalows.
One of these days.
Eating Twilight Feast. They don't have it anymore, so now we'd have to just be like, hey, can we get some, we'd just have to get some Tambu to go.
Yeah.
And we could do that. Which, by the way, I do wish that they started serving noodles and stuff up there prior to 3:30 or 4 or whatever, because I could eat some. So I think that's mine.
Okay.
But we've been able to create a lot since then. Like, we've been to the Poly, more in the last 2 years than we went in the first 5-6 years of doing this podcast. Again, so much thanks to Chuck and Amy, but a lot of it is now with the opening of Walulu and visiting there a lot. things like that. So I think though that one was pretty special, but I think we're gonna have more coming.
Oh, 100%.
I have a feeling that this September trip coming here, Rachel will be here some. Where we
awesome.
got an Ohana dinner planned.
Isn't she in August too?
It's my birthday. Yeah, we'll see her in August. Are we overlapping? It's the whole reason we're going to the cabins is to overlap and see Rachel. And then it just works out that hey, they're at a cabin, and we're gonna bring our children and their friends and boyfriends and whatever. But yeah, I think that weekend in September is gonna be one that's gonna make some of those core memories for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to the Grand Flow.
Victorian elegance and modern luxury waltz in perfect harmony. Within Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, a flagship resort celebrating a golden era.
Well, welcome to the Grand Floridian in the lobby.
There's a lot going on.
Beautiful place. That is, yeah.
It's they got a lot going on. They're redoing the entire check-in area, waiting area up front. Plus, they're putting in this lobby bar, which actually should be really, really cool. But I don't know that they need anything here to make it busier and crazier.
Well, right now it's not. So
right, because nobody wants to come here because of all the construction. You don't want to just come hang out here on this oversized couch that looks like it came from my grandma's estate, which is what most of Grand Flow looks like down here. It's a very big couch. When you sit all the way to the back, only your feet come off the edge.
Yeah.
You look like a child.
I am a child.
You are. All right, what do we got? What do we got for here?
Oh, all right. So, this is our fancy episode.
Yeah, this is the fancy portion because we're at Grand Flow. So we have a couple fancy questions.
I don't know what that means, but
we'll find out.
All right. I'm going to read them because that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
What has been your favorite collaboration or guest on the show?
I gotta say, it's been years, and I would love to get her back on. It is one that you and I did together with Carly Wiesel, and she's just full of life and energy.
She is. She's great.
But what I loved, it was the first time you and I had ever done an interview with anyone, and at the end of it, a woman whose whole career is built on interviewing and media and stuff like this complimented us on how good we did, and we were both like, I'm sorry, what? We've never done this before.
Yeah.
And so part of that I loved. I enjoyed the Imagination series I was doing last year. But yeah, guests are something that we'd like to have more of, but as we're kind of just saying with the Carly one, like, it's hard for two people to interview one person with what I'll consider semi-limited resources.
Yeah.
Without having like an entire briefing, like you and I would have to sit down and research them and come up with questions and, and come up with this whole format of doing things.
I was always nervous too.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm not going to be good at. What am I going to say? This is like, but I'm trying to remember who I would say. I would probably say Ashley Cook.
Yeah. She's always been wonderful from the cookbooks.
Yes. But I'm trying to think of what else, like, and then I feel like I'm forgetting one, of course. But I've enjoyed, like, having other people, like the kids sometimes when we did that.
Yeah, that's always fun.
I enjoy bringing in other people. I think that's really cool.
I like when we do our bracket challenge. I've always enjoyed having, like, Lucy and Caleb. Right. For those, we've done bracket challenges with them in the past. We recently did that NBA draft style of the parks with them. So I like those. We certainly would like to collaborate with some people more in the future and do some more guests and things. And it's something we'll work on. With the fact that so much of the world operates over Zoom nowadays, I still hate Zoom more than anything for an interview with somebody that isn't a personal friend. You know what I mean? Like, it's still awkward, it's still weird. Whereas if you put yourself in the room with that person, even if you don't know them that well, something's just different. Right. It's got a different feeling, it's got a different vibe. I don't know why. So that's the one thing. When we started the Hardwood Hustle with my brother, he said, He would not do an interview unless we did it in person. And we flew all over the country for it. We flew to frickin' Texas and saw Mark Cuban in person. Like,
that was cool.
And it made a difference.
Yeah.
It made a huge difference. So that's another reason I think we don't do a lot of it. I would like to do more of them actually in person.
Okay.
Which again takes a whole other commitment and
we'd need a lot more air miles.
Yeah. No, I'm saying we'll meet them in Orlando. We don't have to fly all over the country.
Oh, well, what if they can't, so we have to fly to them?
Who is this guest?
I don't know yet.
Because if it's like Bob Iger, Josh
somebody
D'Amaro,
in the California,
Josh Gad, John Stamos, Neil Patrick Harris.
Well, they're in the California area.
Yeah, any of those folks, I would figure out a plane ticket. Trust me.
Yeah.
And we would go there in person. But so far, all of those have come up empty.
Okay.
I did hear back from Josh Gad's publicist, who said she would look into if having him on the show or whatever to promote his new book, In Gad We Trust, that came out a few months ago. So you obviously know how that went. But I did get a response.
Yeah.
And then
there you go.
Apparently she talked to someone else who said, who are they? I don't know.
Aww.
But so no Josh Gad coming up soon. But I did make the attempt. So. And if we had gotten him on, I would be saying that was definitely my favorite guest ever.
Oh, 100%.
He's my number one.
Yeah.
Who would be your number one guest out of anybody in the world?
I
mean, Disney related.
Man.
You have a favorite actor, actress that's really tied to Disney? I mean, it could be a freaking Marvel. It could be a Chris Evans. It could be I'll tell you who right now would be incredible is Jeremy Renner. And with the tragedy that he went through.
I love him anyways.
And the fact that he's out and he talks about it so much now, like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him if they'll stop doing construction while we're trying to record a podcast. Because it's very loud back there.
Do you think it can hear?
It's probably picking up some of it, but we'll see. That's what makes this so much fun.
Is it just...
If I close my eyes, I feel like I'm at the dentist. Except it doesn't have that weird smell of burning teeth. You know what I mean? That is awful. I hate that smell. It's so bad. And just drills. Are you telling me that at this point, Dyson hasn't made a dental drill that doesn't sound like a
drill?
Jet engine? Yeah.
Oh, God. That's funny.
It doesn't sound like a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant. All right, what do we got next?
What is the most elegant Disney experience we've ever had?
It was right here.
Victoria and Albert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing that comes close.
No. Unfortunately.
The only thing I think that could come close is Party for the Senses back when they did that at Food and Wine. Because, honestly, you got in and you got the wine glasses and you got, you had like Art Smith there sometimes, Morimoto, and it was a hefty ticket. Wasn't that a good $300 or something a person, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
And so it was a hefty ticket. It felt like a very intimate experience, even though it was a ton of people.
There was a ton of people. I feel like I would almost say, because we were coming out of COVID, I did love Party for the Senses, but there was a lot of people and I wasn't as dressed up. Whereas, for example, I would probably put this over Party for the Senses just because, again, we were coming out of COVID, so you had to wear a mask.
For what?
Inside, when we bounded as Ariel and Eric, and we went to Cinderella's Royal
Yes. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, for our anniversary.
The tables were still
That'd
very spread out.
That'd have been 2021, April of 2021.
The tables were still very spread out. She just came and waved, and I was in a green, beautiful dress. My hair was completely curled. I felt like I had heels on. I felt like I was kind of like dressed to the nines.
You look like a princess. You were.
Thank you. And then
I dressed like Eric. I wore blue. I bought blue slacks.
Yeah.
I bought a red belt.
Yep.
I had a white dress shirt.
And
I had a red bow tie.
Your hair.
Yep. Dyed my hair dark, like black.
Yep.
You'd need a lot more now, several years later. But I mean, there's not a more elegant experience on property than Victoria and Albert's.
No, there's not.
I mean, and obviously the fact we can say that that's our most elegant thing is just...
It's amazing.
It's amazing. We're very, very lucky.
Very blessed.
Yeah.
To have wonderful friends.
Yeah. It's almost an unfair question because we've done that. But,
it is. But again, like I said, I would, if we're playing that game and you had to say Victoria and Albert's was off the table, what would be my number one? I would probably say that one. Because again,
Yes.
The tables were set. We were both dressed up. We specifically went there for dinner. It was just absolutely amazing, and I felt elegant.
Yeah. We got to start saving to do it again at some point in our lives in the next couple years, maybe.
What?
We'll see. Victoria and Albert's
Okay.
again. I do. It is not elegant. It is not fancy, but we make it. I love going to see Neil Patrick Harris at the Candlelight Processional and getting dressed up and suiting up and
That
you
is
wearing
fun.
a beautiful dress and us matching and all of that is just, we take something that isn't elegant at all and we turn it elegant, Dinner at Via Napoli? Elegant. Sitting in a crowd full of people watching Neil Patrick Harris? Elegant.
Okay. Yeah, we do. All right, well, let's move on to what is kind of going along with this. What is the one time we totally splurged on a hotel or upgrade and don't regret it at all?
Does it have to be with our money or my brother's?
Polly?
I'll go back either Polly or when we recently did Contemporary. I know that we didn't pay for those, but I would have.
Okay, so back to Polly. I don't regret it, but I learned that I would never do that again because I just want to be at the Polly. Remember? And I was like, I will take a janitor's closet.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Contemporary, I would want to be where we were
That
and
theme
pay
park
for
view
that.
made a difference.
100%.
Prior to that, the real, heck, it doesn't even feel like a splurge now, but, back in July of 2019 when Grand Destino opened, which was the weekend before we did Polly,
Yes.
we went for opening night. We were going to stay
We were
3
staying,
nights,
right.
and we were doing club level. Now, shockingly, at the opening of that, I think the room was somewhere between $350 and $400 a night.
Right.
Now, we were used to paying somewhere between $100 and $200 a night because we were either doing All-Stars or when we were doing Coronado, the rooms were so much cheaper because the tower wasn't there, 3 bridges, all that stuff wasn't there. So for us to spend $350 to $400 a night
That was a
for
splurge.
3 nights, which then became 4 because we tacked on one last night. I remember walking up the club level that day and saying, is there any way we can add a night and stay in the same room? And they said, you sure can. So we ended up doing 4 nights, I believe, at about $350 to $400 a night, which is a huge splurge for us
that
on a
is
resort.
One thing I'll never regret.
It was 100% worth it.
was
It was
amazing.
some of the best times ever. We met people that we still keep in touch with today, even from a distance sometimes, wonderful folks like Nathan and Kelsey, and it was incredible. It was like everything I wanted it to be. And their club level, at its peak, at the beginning, destroyed every club level on the property.
100%.
And we didn't have to eat at all of them to tell you that.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
that would be mine. And I do feel that, for us being annual pass holders, for us coming as often as we do, every paid event is kind of a splurge. The Halloween parties, the Jollywood nights, the Christmas parties are a splurge because you got to think on top of what we're already spending to be annual pass holders, to come here so often, to get content, to stay at hotels and resorts and all, an extra $400 to $500 is a splurge.
Yes, it is.
And every single one of them has been worth it.
Yes.
Have we ever splurged and it's not been worth it? I'm trying to think if there was like a specific Monsieur Paul.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a splurge, and that was before they did the prefix,
Right.
really, really expensive per person. But I bet we dropped $200-something plus there at the time, 5-6 years ago.
I still with your brother's money on the Polly. I know that was a great, I think I just wish, because I loved staying at the Polly, because if we'd had that same amount, I feel like we could have stayed 3 or 4 nights.
Remember, we moved 2 nights to Boardwalk on a
Right.
DVC rental
But
at the
still.
time, and we could have done 4 nights at Poly without a club level.
Correct.
And I agree, but we can only go off of that Poly club level
I'm just
experience
saying.
based on the comparison of Grand Destino and Kronos Club 1 week before.
Right.
So Poly didn't have a chance when we got here.
But still.
When we got there, I feel like. So, yeah.
But, all right. What is your go-to Disney date night restaurant?
Wailulu Bar and Grill. I don't know. What where's
date
somewhere
night?
we default to a lot? Without the kids coming, everything is a date for us in a sense. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
that's true.
Unless we plan something specifically. I love the times that we've done like a Narcoossee's,
Yeah.
right?
California Grill.
California Grill is a wonderful go-to date night spot.
Because we've been doing that a little more now with sitting at the bar and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean,
everything that we learned.
Yeah, Cali Grill, Narcoossee's, Citricos is a wonderful date night spot. And then, as we've always talked about with these things, it depends on how you like to do things. You know, everybody, I think, a lot of times thinks of a date night as having to be like romantic and fancy and whatever. You know,
well, of course.
Right, but it doesn't have to be. Hoop-de-doo is a date night. You know, going to a Three Bridges or a Walulu, just the two of us, without any content or work plans or other people to distract us, is a date night.
Yes.
But I don't prefer one over the other. I think it all is kind of the mood and the moment that you're in. Sometimes I'd love to throw on something a little bit nicer and go to a Narcoossee's or a Citricos. And sometimes all I want to do is wear a t-shirt and some 32-degree shorts and freaking go to, you know, Walulu like we just did for an appetizer and a beverage at the bar.
Yes, that was good. Yeah, I agree. I guess I agree. I don't, as a woman, I don't think about it.
Where do you want your date? And if tonight, if we had no plans tonight, and you said, Jeremy, I want you to take me on a date to a restaurant at Disney.
Well, probably
outside of Victoria and Albert's, what would you pick?
Probably Cali Grill or something like that. Yeah. Like, and now, like, probably I forget about Topolino's. Like,
oh man, Topolino's
like
is great.
Sitting at the bar.
Boathouse.
Yeah.
You know, if you're over at Springs. I don't feel like we answered the question. We just rattled off half of the restaurants on property. But it gives lots of options.
I said California Grill. I said like, all right, so then what is your favorite Grand Flow memory?
This right now.
No.
You know, we haven't stayed here.
No, we haven't. But we've been here a lot.
We've been here a lot.
And I know what mine was.
I would like to hear yours because nothing comes directly to mind for me.
Mine was when they opened the basically Beauty and the Beast bar.
Enchanted Rose,
Rose upstairs. And the library is just beautiful. I wish they would make some of the stuff that they have in there.
Buy. Because you have all the cartoon, the animated versions of Mrs.
100%.
Potts and Cogsworth.
I want that live action stuff, man.
That would be
that
super
around
cool.
My house.
Yep.
And we sat at the bar, and you know, of course, I had an espresso martini, and you know, you had an old fashioned, and this was probably back when you would do pretty good, and you weren't drunk or anything, and we just would enjoy one or two drinks, and especially how expensive it was.
Oh my gosh,
I think it was one, but just again, it was just beautiful in there, and Beauty and the Beast is my favorite. And I just really enjoyed that. And then other times coming and like when we were sitting with Steve and everybody, and like that was really fun. And just so.
I mean, Victoria and Albert's is my favorite memory from here. I mean, you know, and not only did we get to go to Victoria and Albert's.
Yeah.
Not only did we get to dress up. Not only did we get to go with Jill, who's just the most wonderful human being.
Oh, yeah.
We got to do it during Christmas time with the tree in the lobby and not all this crazy construction going on. Like, there couldn't have been a more perfect like, kind of time and moment for us to have done that. And it was just incredible.
I agree, but I thought plan sometimes along with your rules because we used Victoria and Albert's for the elegant.
They can't use it again. Yeah, I mean, if it's off the table, then I don't know if it was the first time that we came to see the gingerbread house here, but we came with your parents.
Yes.
And we walked through. We had your parents. We had the girls. We bought stuff. Like that would probably be it. I feel like it was the first time we ever came to see a gingerbread house here. Because we had not seen them before. Right. Because again, we didn't, you know, even the first couple of years that we started coming as pass holders, it was still hitting parks.
100%.
Nonstop, you know, and so we didn't do a lot of resort stuff. So.
And you didn't do research enough to know the things.
Right, correct.
Okay, so that was our last question for the Grand Flow. I don't think I realized we came quickly to an end, but it might be good since there's all this construction.
Oh, I know. I apologize. But we're going to hop on a monorail, and we're going to hit the Contemporary.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get to the favorite memory question there, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
There's a place that transports you and your family into the ultra-modern atmosphere of Walt Disney's landmark vision of life in the 21st century. This is Disney's Contemporary Resort, where bold decor accents stunning views in a one-of-a-kind location.
Is everything just elevated around us today?
What, sound-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, welcome to the Contemporary. It's vying for the loudest lobby. Well, again, here you have so much stuff that carries. I mean, here, not only do you get... Well, it's the same with any of those open ones like Grand Flow. You've got all the noise that can technically come from rooms, people coming in and out up there, plus, I don't know, man. There's a lot going on.
I think it's just sometimes people talk with a larger level of vocal cords.
They do, like people looking for guest service at the Poly. But welcome to the Contemporary, everyone. We are seated in some nice seats. We are sat in some nice, comfortable seats in Outer Rim. And we are looking out at Lakeshore Lodge, which is going up very quickly over there next to Fort Wilderness. I'll be very excited to see it next month when we do the cabins, because we saw it at the beginning of June. And so I'll be interested to see how it looks. I'll be interested to see the outside once that starts, taking shape and design and all that. So, or we get some new concept art. But
we kicking it off?
This section at Contempo is going to be some of our maybe kind of hottish takes in a sense. Which is perfect for Contemporary because for years and years I had a very hot take about this place that I just didn't get it.
You did.
Until we stayed here.
You did.
And then I got it. So, what do you think is a bold or unpopular opinion we've shared on the podcast? I think for so long it was me saying that I didn't get the Contemporary. It looked like an airport. And other than being next to Magic Kingdom, I really didn't get why anybody want to stay here. Then we stayed here.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
And we stayed not only here, but we did stay in the main section.
Yeah, main tower. Yeah, not Bay Lake, not Garden Wing.
Where Jeremy was just talking about, our door entered. I see doors up there. And
we're right up on the other side there, the elevator.
Just right over there. And I would come out and stand and just look. Yeah. And I did that a lot. And I think...
In socks and pajamas.
I did.
That's just nice.
I think the hard part was being on the view of the the fireworks, but the park. I think I didn't come out as much as I truly wanted to because I was out on the balcony.
Oh yeah, I'd prefer the balcony though.
Yes, but I think if we stayed somewhere that didn't have a park view in this this main tower, I would probably utilize this. And I'm still upset in the middle of the night I didn't come out and look in the lobby.
Yeah. What about thoughts on the destruction of Tom Sawyer Island, Rivers of America, Liberty Bell? I mean, you have so many people that are up in arms. Do you care as much? Are you okay? I'm
okay with it because...
You don't have to be glad. I'm just saying you're okay with it.
I'm okay with it because I don't have fond memories of it. So I think that's kind of sad. I do have some memories of the girls running around on Tom Sawyer Island, which is great and fantastic, but I don't know. I'm just okay.
The one,
I'm not sad.
Yeah. It might be a hot take.
Not mad.
This will sound rude, and I don't mean to be rude, but okay. See you later. I can't say anything yet because, of course, all we've seen is concept art. But I think we'll miss the aesthetic.
That's where I'll be curious.
From the latest concept art that they did do when they announced it was called Piston Peak. It showed a lot of water features. It showed flowing waters. It showed, So cool. I think that they're gonna make the aesthetic work and fit. But I do think it's gonna be sad to not see that stuff. But other than true classics that we love, I'm okay with the parks growing and changing constantly.
Keeps us a job.
It does. So, all right. What's one topic or episode we were nervous to record?
Anytime we definitely interviewed somebody, I was always nervous.
Yes.
Always.
Agreed.
No matter who it was. No matter even if, there would be, I'll never forget, this was probably after we interviewed and we did a bunch of stuff. Somebody wanted us on their podcast.
Yeah.
And we had a lot more, we were just we've done it so much that I was still nervous, but I was like, okay, like, I'm okay.
Well, it feels a lot more natural when you're being interviewed. Like, I would much rather guest on other podcasts than have people on ours, only for the fact that it is hard and it makes me nervous. And, but obviously, I want them on our show. It just, I prefer doing that on the other side.
I guess one probably question for you would be, were you nervous to be open about being sober on the podcast?
Oh, of course. Yeah, 100%. That was definitely an episode I was nervous to record when I hit 30 days and decided to talk about it on that episode back in April of 2024. Yes, very. That was probably the most nervous I've been about anything. And it's not so much saying it as getting it out. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part that becomes hard, because you can plan and practice saying something like that all you want until the moments you go to actually say it out loud, and that's where like the flood of everything comes from. Saying it out loud.
Yeah.
So yes, that one I was very, very nervous about recording.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Speaking of hot takes, because these are hot takes, right? We're coming right off of that. If you could shut down one land in a Disney park forever, let's stick to Walt Disney World and Disneyland because we've been there now, what would it be? You could shut down any land. See you later. Bye-bye.
But would you build it back up?
Well, don't worry about that. Just say a land can go away.
I don't know. Like in Disney World, like
either Disney World,
Canada
Disneyland.
Land?
No. Well, no, that's a pavilion. Never goes around making stuff up.
I mean,
okay, let's go first.
You're like Adventureland.
You're gonna destroy a pavilion. Yes, we both agree it's Canada.
Yeah.
So do Lucy and Caleb.
Yes.
Now let's go with actual land. That would be a Tomorrowland, a Fantasyland, a Toy Story Land, a Galaxy's Edge, all of those.
I don't have one.
Just ripped Tomorrowland out.
No.
Honestly, at this
point,
point,
make it better.
Right? I know that, but I'm saying that whole land could go away.
No, they're trying.
That's the only anchor of that whole place.
Okay, well maybe they need to maybe like you said recently in something, they'll close down and they will make that whole Tomorrowland tomorrow.
They will after, I think, all these new lands that are coming are done after the villains and,
But don't rip it out and take it forever.
No, I'm just saying, you're thinking too much. Just right now, Bob Iger comes up and he says, we're going to bulldoze a land. Which one is it? I'll give you $1 million to give me your answer right now.
Too
late.
No, ever at Animal Kingdom that
we're gonna do it like in Soarin', where your points go down the longer it takes to answer. So you're
I'm never good at that. Dino Land.
Dino Land? Well, it's already gone.
I know.
I don't know what to do with you sometimes.
But that would, I still would have said that because I never liked Primeval World.
100%. We both would have destroyed Dino Land before they decided to destroy it.
And before Tomorrowland.
I don't know.
I still like the People Mover. I don't mind Space Mountain sometimes, like during parties and stuff. I love the Carousel of Progress. The laugh floor could be moved on and do something with that and Stitch.
I got it. I got what we both, I think, would agree on. And we'll split the $1 million. I guess it's a land. Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Yeah.
There's so much more that could be done with that.
Yeah.
I love what it is. It's just, it's not the easiest to get to. It's not advertised.
No.
It's kind of this hidden gem that almost isn't a gem because not enough people go there to make it one. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like, if they stuck a good restaurant out there, if they really upped the animal factor and the vet factor and had more scheduled type of show or educational type stuff around animals. I know you can go in there and you can see the vet hospital and they're working on it, but again, if you had something...
Open it up where you can see more stuff.
Right,
like
or again, make some things that are planned. Now, obviously, you're not going to be like, hey, elephant, I'm going to give you surgery tomorrow so people can see it. But, but if there's needs and you could have something that says, you could walk in the park, and it could say...
Today at 1 p.m.
Elephant surgery.
Could you imagine? I think there's too many things behind that.
Oh, I know there
like
is.
Like an elephant birth.
Like a step ladder. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any sort of live birth. Personally. I didn't see that. They didn't show us that in health class, I don't think, in middle school. Did they show you?
Oh my God.
Did they show?
I've seen them.
Where have you seen one?
I don't know.
We didn't. It's not like you watched your own. I saw enough during that I'm good. Never seen it again.
Oh God.
Had to shake the doctor's hand after that one to say, kudos, sir. You can look at this stuff every day and still do it. You are a hero. All right. What is your favorite contemporary memory?
Before staying here, which literally was like we were checking in, and then we had our reservation at Chef Mickey's, right?
When we just stayed here? Yeah.
No, actually, the Chef Mickey's when we brought the girls. I forgot we did that. That was a long time ago.
Holy moly, that was a long time ago. I mean, the ultimate memory is watching Happily Ever After from our balcony together, you and I, when we stayed here.
Yeah.
It'll be one of my favorite Disney memories ever.
Yeah.
If we have to take that out because just say it's not fair, like Victoria and Albert's isn't fair.
Right.
When I got the text from our former travel advisor before we linked up with MEI Travel, and she said, hey guys, your stay at the Coronado this weekend, I just got contacted by Disney and they're overbooked. They'd like to bump you to the Contemporary. And at the time, my thought was, I want to stay at Coronado. Yeah. But we need to stay at the Contemporary because at that time we had never stayed at all on this property. So we got upgraded, took the upgrade.
We were in the garden view room.
It was December, early December. And on the way, we went to Universal. On the way down, Kaylin and I bought matching Grinch pajamas, and she got some for Taco. And we put them on that night in the garden wing room and have a photo of us.
Yep.
And I just remember it being cool because it felt so new. It was something that was so new to us, being at this resort, being, in that room and all of that. And it was awesome. Like I don't remember anything else about that trip, really, other than that part and us standing there. And I love that photo every year it crops up. It was like December 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Like I can remember it so vividly.
And Lacey and I think, got matching pajamas, but not those.
Yes, I think you did.
We might have had Disney ones.
I think you came and got Disney ones.
I think we got Disney
and
ones.
Kaylin and I got the Grinch because then she got one for Taco. And then we have a family photo, I believe, of the three of us, me, Kaylin, and Taco, and the Grinch, you and Lacey in Disney ones. And then I don't think we dressed up a cat or anything at the time.
No.
Or Stitch or anyone, I don't know. But, that almost would take over the balcony moment because we had our kids with us and it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I said, and I don't know if that wasn't when we ate at Chef Mickey's, but
no, that
we
was
did
not.
eat. But the point is that was fantastic. The only reason that room, it was just so funny because it looked like the garden view was such a cruise ship style.
Yeah, I had 6 inches of clearance above my head walking through the hallways.
Yeah.
Our shower, all those rooms have been refurbed, and they all got the Incredibles. Yeah, and it was water under the shower.
Yeah.
That made it sloshy. And
very strange.
They've all gotten the Incredibles treatment now, though, so they all have been upgraded. Not as though they expanded the height of the hallways. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, we're gonna wrap this one up.
Here in the heart of the Walt Disney World Resort, guests can experience an inspiring setting that celebrates the casual elegance of Europe and the Mediterranean, reimagined with a stroke of Disney magic. At Disney's Riviera Resort.
We're back at another resort we haven't stayed at, of 2. So we did Grand Flow. We're here at Riviera. We have not actually stayed here yet, but we have visited here once or twice, haven't we? Yeah, I mean, we've probably been to Bar Riva 50 times or something. So, and it's such a great stop.
Ever since it opened.
Well, it's such a great, in December of 2019. It's just such a great stop on the Skyliner too.
Yeah.
If you just want to hop off. And we know Bar Riva's got great food and you get stuff from Primo Piatto.
Yep.
But they're going to talk a little bit about the creative side of the podcast.
Oh.
What's a new series or episode you'd be interested to launch?
Oh gosh. Well, this is where I feel like, unfortunately, this question will be on you because you're the one who 100% of the time I'm like, what are we recording on?
Yeah.
And then you tell me, or you sometimes will go, well, here's a list of things. What do you want to do? Or there's times where you give full credit when you're like, actually, I cannot take any credit. This is from milestoning, or this is from...
Yeah. One thing I keep talking about us doing, and I think we're going to start it today, is, air quote, live dining reviews.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've been talking about, just kind of turning the mics on when we go and do dining, because we talk about everything as we eat it there. And then all we do is go, a couple days later, sit in the office and just rehash it all to you guys, in a regular recorded episode. So we're going to see what that might look like tonight and go, you know what, we're going to just record and we're going to talk about the food and then we'll cut it up and we'll see if it works. So I've been wanting to do that for a while. And I still want to find a good way to have guests on more regularly, which we'll figure out at some point. What's one place we haven't reviewed yet that we have to?
Staying here.
Yeah, staying here, staying at Grand Flow.
Grand Flow.
I would like at some point to make our way around the other club level offerings.
Yep.
Because now we've done Poly, Wilderness, and Coronado, the Kronos Club. So a couple more of those that I think I'd like to mark off the list. I'm trying to think of a dining specific. Is there a place we haven't ate?
I mean, now Victoria and Albert's, we can even put that on the list.
I know, because we've done that now. We're doing bourbon steak tonight, which is the newest. We haven't actually eaten it like Il Molino. Like, we've had like some appetizers and sat at the bar there, but I'd love to go there and sit down for a meal. And I think it's not as much about like...
There's some places in EPCOT.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like that we have to get back to, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So like Takumite,
Yeah.
we never did before. We haven't done since they went to the prefix, but like we would like to go back and do a Monsieur Paul. So I think a lot of it, it's not as much as what we feel like we have to do. It's almost like we have to do again.
Yeah.
There are some places that honestly, we talk about for years of loving them because we did.
Right.
But we kind of need to go back and go, like right now, where I'm looking at, I can see Sebastian's Bistro from here.
Oh, yeah.
All I have is positive things to say about it.
Yeah.
We haven't eaten there in a couple of years. It could be garbage now. You know what I mean? Like, so I'd hate to continue to go, Sebastian's Bistro is so good, and then maybe it's not.
Right.
But, normally I'll pick up on those things from other people, though, or John.
Right.
We'll talk to
and
John about
speaking of that, where you just said we are looking at it, unfortunately, Riviera is very busy today.
Yeah.
So we are outside sitting, and I
It's
hope
so
we
small.
don't melt.
It's so small in there.
Yeah.
And then even that like library place they have next to the cafe there up off of the lobby was slammed, and it's usually not that crazy.
Yeah.
So if we could do a live show anywhere, where would it be?
Again, I feel like this would be more towards for you because I like a live show. That makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I like
those are tough. Like the
big mic. I guess.
the live. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, because we talked like at one point, like on a cruise and doing like in a.
I would love to do a full like cruise live show and where you can actually have one of the auditoriums.
But again,
inside. I mean, inside a park, like and the thing is, yes, we can technically do that. What I think would be cool is to be at a point where you're allowed to do it. You know what I mean? Like right now we're doing technically a live show, but there's nobody in front of us. But we can do this. There could certainly be people here. I don't think this would raise much question or concern unless the Caribbean beach managers now work here. We've got our face on the wall somewhere. I'm not sure, but I'd inside a park would be super cool. And that is something we actually could do if you go back to the series thing, is we could do live shows, it doesn't mean they have to be live in front of people in your same physical space. We
Right.
could still do live shows that are just live streams, but it's, modeled after an actual episode.
Yeah.
Or something like that. If there was any park in the world, though, like Disney park in the world, where would you want to do one from?
Well, of course, mine, Paris. Yours.
You'd want to do one from Paris?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you
I mean,
do Tokyo or?
Main Street Disneyland Park.
Huh.
Can you imagine how cool that would be?
Yeah.
But yes, I would say Tokyo just because I want to go there so bad.
Right.
So, alrighty, which EPCOT pavilion would you live in for a week? We do these a lot with like the rides, with the lands, with the parks.
And I feel like we've done this, like, even if we haven't talked it like it, we've talked about it because of the reason, like.
So which one would you live in? For
country?
When we say a week. Yeah, which EPCOT pavilion or country would you live in for a week? You got to take into food, obviously, because that's the.
But I'm also trying to think the space and like.
Right. There is a little bedroom in the back of the UK pavilion. It's Christopher Robin's bedroom, so you'd have a bed.
I know, which I don't think it's not nice and icy cold. I mean, I hate to say it.
You're allowed to set whatever AC level you would like. Let's say that.
Oh, because I was trying to say America, but I would love to stay in Arendelle over there, but there's no room to sleep.
Norway, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you could find something. This is one of those hypotheticals where you'd be able to set up a cot or something. It really is more about which pavilion could you spend all that time in and have to dine at for every meal for a week.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm almost thinking of that. You almost reframe the question and go, if you had to eat all your meals from one World Showcase pavilion for a week, which one would it be? And that's a hard one, right? Like,
I know. I might say Morocco.
Yeah, but Morocco, you got Spice Road Table, though, really, that's it. And then you got the tangerine flavors of Medina, but that runs on festivals now, right? I don't know, I would have to go for Mexico.
Yeah, that's true, you would.
You've got 3 legit dining spots, right?
Yeah.
You've got a wonderful indoor shopping area. You have a ride.
Yeah.
So if each day you're like, I'm bored, I want to do Grand Fiesta Tour, you could.
So you'd have to stay in that land and do what, work, or just stay in it?
I mean, you just stay in it.
For a week.
Yeah, you got to stay there for a week. You're going to entertain people. You're going to entertain guests for the week.
Okay.
It's going to be a one man or one woman show. They're going to get rid of the mariachi band. It's going to be a one-ronda show for a week. You have to perform 5 times a day. Could you do it?
That's funny, no.
How much money?
No.
I feel like Caleb is here. These are the questions we go over. If we created, I know we talked about this a long time ago, if we created our own festival at EPCOT, like what would it be and what would it be called? We're in Diet EPCOT right now.
Right.
We have time now that they could squeeze in a festival if they chose to.
Didn't we say a summer festival?
Yeah, it would be called In Summer.
Olaf.
And it would be Olaf Frozen themed.
That's right.
And it would actually be food you would want to eat in the summer.
Yes.
It's not going to be hot soups and noodle bowls and
right.
hot. It's not going to be hot dishes. Like you probably have a heavy dessert influence in frozen. Obviously ice creams and desserts and stuff. And then you look at whatever the day food could be.
Right.
And again, not all of it has to be that kind of hot comfort food. It'd be more light. Kind of whatever. I think would be super cool. Is there something else you would do, or that's
no? I think I would still do that for sure.
Yeah. And then finally, how we like to wrap up each of the ones. What is your favorite memory here? Because we haven't stayed,
right?
But we have been here.
Probably Bar Riva opening and starting to meet all the amazing cast members that we did.
Yeah.
Chris and Marcy and Ken. And
There's been a lot of wonderful ones there. Specifically, and I'm so sorry it doesn't involve you.
Oh, I know. But
we were at Art of Animation. It was
I was
May.
tired, man.
I can't remember what year this was, but it was May because it was Kat's birthday.
Yeah.
And we got upgraded to the Cars suite. Was it Cars, right? We got upgraded to a Cars suite at Art from a Little Mermaid room.
Yes.
And we jokingly sent Kat a message. We were going to be there for 3 nights or something. And we messaged Kat and said, you should just fly down, come stay with us. We got extra room.
She was
and
like,
she
okay.
did.
Yep.
She got on a plane the next morning. She came down. And then the one night you and Lacey went back to Art of Animation, and Kat and Kaylin and I rode the Skyliner over to Riviera.
Yep.
And we sat up in the lobby and we just people watched and laughed for like an hour or two. And this was when things were closing down, like the little cafe was closing down up there, all that stuff. Yeah, it was. I mean, we met Darby that night. That I still kind of keep in touch with a little bit on social and follow. Like,
that's amazing.
That was cool. But I can imagine some memories we'll make here when we finally get to stay.
Yeah.
And when we do, I don't want to leave the resort.
No.
We'll just hang out at Bar Riva from the time it opens to the time it closes. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Welcome to the glittering jewel of Crescent Lake, Disney's Boardwalk Resort, which recreates a seaside village from a bygone era with timeless charm and carnival sights.
And now we are at Boardwalk. And sitting in, is this Bellevue?
Yeah, Bellevue Lounge.
Okay.
We've actually never came here.
Are you sure?
Sat like at the bar or got drinks here, I don't believe. I think we came down here, they'd have breakfast stuff in the morning, and I came down here once and got coffees and I think like a breakfast sandwich to take back to the room when we stayed here. But it's a cool little spot. It's most familiar. I saw a YouTube police body cam footage of when they had to arrest a guy here for getting in a little scuffle. And so it's a full body. There's a whole YouTube channel that is body cam footage from theme parks and police. It's I can't remember what it's called. It's fascinating. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but go out, like people getting trespassed from Universal, from Disney, like, yeah, it's the stuff you don't see, but it's interesting. I mean, it's the ultimate reality TV.
Wow.
So, which is kind of a wild card statement, isn't it, Rhonda?
Speaking of that is what our topic, I guess, is considered.
There's a wiener dog.
There sure is.
Coming on up the stairs. Did you see him run up the stairs? It's adorable. I would have carried him. Okay, what is going on with this one?
Well, it's the
our wild card rounds. I got some wild card questions. What do we got here?
So our first question is, what is that beeping sound? Oh, it's
somebody backing up. It's the truck dropping off the bagels for Bellevue Lounge, backing up.
No, actually, the first question is, what is the funniest podcast blooper?
I mean, probably me dumping my entire coffee
yes.
on you. Is that what you were going to say?
Yes.
Yeah, that was not long ago.
No,
that was back at Christmas time because it was a peppermint mocha. And I dumped a venti peppermint mocha all over your keyboard, your desk, your lap, everything.
Everywhere.
So since then, I'm very careful of where I place my cup when we record.
Beverages.
Yeah. Another one, I wouldn't necessarily call it a blooper, but when and this was a long time ago when you told the story of your family getting in the hot tub out wherever that was, and the other lady who came to join you and all, and I can't remember what episode it was. It's been years, but I just remember that coming out of your mouth and me being like, what is happening right now? Because a lot of times things will go off the rails, like if you see a wiener dog or something.
Of course.
But yeah, I don't know if there's as many bloopers. I mean, we certainly mess up enough that we just stop.
And not only do we stop, there's been times where you will insert them depending if they are funny and if, you know.
Yeah, I used to, here's something I'll say. If you were starting a podcast now, save all the stuff. Especially as we're doing something like an 800th episode. What I really wish I had done and I need to do moving forward is, from the very beginning, is taking and organizing clips from every episode. Whether they are bloopers or our favorite part of this or our favorite part of that.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure I could go back and feed an entire library into, AI and have them spit out moments and all.
Oh, I'm sure.
But yeah, it's one thing I wish, and to catch some of those off the rail moments. Like they're usually, Lucy will get a text message from me after recording and I'll be like, enjoy tomorrow. It's completely off the rails. But I don't remember which ones those are.
Right.
But yeah, dumping coffee all over was definitely a good spot. And that we have on video. Yeah, I got that on video. It's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is a Disney snack that needs to be fired.
Turkey leg.
Oh, wow. You just didn't even get
Do you have
get
something
that.
else? Or, are we considering it a snack or it is a meal? It did feed our family of 4, only because it took us 3 hours to eat it. Because he had to get through all that disgusting fat and gristle and tendons and whatever the heck else is in there. I think it was a feather. Like, those things are so gross. Did you see the guy gnawing on one yesterday?
There wasn't a feather in it.
There was
Don't
a feather,
make me...
yeah.
Oh, God.
Did you see the guy gnawing on one yesterday?
I did not.
Oh man, it's just and the thing is,
I would
they're
need to have
delicious. That's the thing is they
floss.
are delicious.
Yeah.
I wish you could buy a deconstructed turkey leg. Somebody's already done all the work. Like you can go to Publix and buy cut up watermelon. That's the way to go. But if you could buy a turkey leg that all the meat was already pulled off, that would be good. What would you fire?
Well, they fired something and they should have never fired it, but the sour cream and cheddar chives.
Oh, heck yeah.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
They did not ask me
They did not.
if they wanted us to fire it. I don't know.
That would definitely be the number one snack I would bring back.
100%.
The sour cream and chive popcorn. It was
100%.
Imagination Pavilion right outside of Figment. The popcorn stand is still there, and it's just serving regular stupid popcorn. And every time we walked by, we're like, come on. And they had a buffalo. And then I feel like they sometimes did like a rainbow, like almost sugar-coated caramel type something there. I feel like.
Yeah. Like a kettle, basically.
I mean, the thing is, if you put in, look at how well that does at Magic Kingdom in the confectionery. You know, there's always a line now for that popcorn.
Yep.
And if you put something, I'm not saying it belongs in EPCOT, but you put something in a park, even Disney Springs, that is like a popcorn store.
Right.
You know, think of Club Cool, but for popcorn.
Yeah.
And you could go in, you have all these different flavors,
100%.
and then you can purchase them. Which, by the way, I still don't understand why you can't buy full sodas of every single beverage they have at Club Cool there. I believe you can at the Coca-Cola store, rooftop, which we need to visit sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll do that today if we end up over at Springs.
I think we are, aren't we?
What was the question? We'd snack we'd get rid of?
Yeah,
Not
you
which one
already
we'd
said
resurrect.
you already said turkey
was
leg.
easy. That was an easy
It's
one.
technically my leg, but I can't think of one that I
Churro.
would
park
completely
churro.
fire. I guess.
You wouldn't fire, you'd want it replaced with Three Bridges churros.
Right.
You know?
So I wouldn't fire that. And pretzels are needed.
Why would you even bring up pretzels? How dare you? Jeez. What are you going to say next? Plastic cheese is gross? You don't think plastic cheese is gross?
I don't think it's gross. I just don't like it as much as
I do. I do love it.
You do love it.
We almost brought one home when I was here with Kaylin and Talon because we got 2 pretzels. And the cheese cup is
so
enough for
big.
like
3 pretzels.
3, probably, yeah. And so we only opened one, and Talon and I and Kaylin ate obviously both pretzels, but
Right.
we're gonna take a whole cheese thing home. And I was like, I've done it before. It sat in our pantry, and nobody ate it in our magical pantry.
Yeah, I can't. And then I think of like what's considered a snack, basically. And then I'm like, I mean, there's so many things that could be.
It's
snack.
interesting.
And I'm just thinking, unfortunately, of obviously the main staples.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking
I don't
too.
need to think like that.
Right.
I could think like we just went to Caramel Coochie, and I bought it said new caramel snickerdoodle.
Yep. Sandwich,
which
has been here in the past.
I
think they're meaning
has.
remember it's new because
It's
the majority of people don't go there
Right.
4 times a month and buy stuff 3 times a month. You know what I
But
mean?
they
we
did
do.
have the new strawberry bar,
Yes,
a
they
new
did.
birthday cake,
Yep.
caramel.
So we're gonna try all those.
Yeah, so I'm like trying, and they did have some new liquor ones, but we won't get those.
Well, looking now, now that the dining plan is back, I feel like I'm focusing more on what is snack available, especially when we were in the confectionery yesterday. And we met up with one of our
Edward.
fabulous listeners, Edward, and he had some snack credits to burn, and he was looking at stuff, so I started paying attention to what is and isn't a snack credit. And of course, that was only in the confectionery, so it's all desserts, but
Which
it
we
is
got
interesting.
Starlight, which is
But
good.
again, it makes you think there are so many snacks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
that's why I'm like thinking, what would I fire? I would probably fire, and people are gonna kill me for this. Keep all the caramel apples you want with chocolate and everything, but I'd fire the candy apple.
Yeah, those
for dentist people, for your children's teeth, for anything and everything.
9 out of 10 dentists recommend you don't eat those. What do you think is wrong with the 10th dentist? What's that guy's problem?
He's probably like, eat it because I've got strong teeth.
Or he's like, go ahead and eat it. You keep me in a job. True. Same thing with brushing. He's like, no, I don't want you to use this ultra powerful crest whitening. The other 9 do, and they're going to lose money, but not me.
Okay.
Not Dr. Stein. DDS.
All right. What Universal, out of all 3 parks, what land now would you secretly rank over Disney?
Well, I'm thinking I feel like it would have to be a comparable land.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because otherwise, Isle of Burke. Are you just saying what are you saying that's better than? That's the thing I think that is hard. What would you compare that most to?
Like, maybe, I'm thinking Animal Kingdom, and I'm thinking like maybe
Very
Pandora, or maybe, what's the other one? Oh my gosh, Dinosaur, like that area.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I mean, obviously that's all going away anyways, but still.
Isle of Burke is like when they finally release Epic annual passes, whatever it may be. If it's a standalone,
I think
we're looking at potentially purchasing those if it's standalone Epic. Isle of Burke is the land out of all 3 Universal parks I would want to just go hang out in. You know what I mean? Like just walk around, go into the hall and get some of those fries, and and then just come back out and walk around.
I really
and
like Epic.
And there's all like when we went to the preview, like the little dinosaurs and stuff that are throughout, like some of them now breathe fire.
Shut up.
Yeah, so like it's
I want to go back.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait till we do, or excuse me, I look forward to when we do with the children.
Okay.
But I almost wouldn't mind going back.
Well, we probably will. I do want to get back there before we go with the kids, just for
work purposes.
Yeah, research and work purposes, to get content and all. But let's look at it more of, let's go over to like Islands of Adventure, right?
Okay.
Is there any land or area at Walt Disney World that is worse than their Toon Lagoon area?
Oh.
Is there any land in Walt Disney World that is worse than Seuss Landing?
No.
Right?
Yeah. No. I mean, you could say Tomorrowland, but
it'd be close, but yeah.
I mean, but I feel like
the only reason,
like that's next on the agenda.
Oh no, it has to be after that. But again, you're talking about them finishing Villains Land, which if we're lucky, we're getting in like early 2030s, right? Because if you're looking at,
God, we're gonna be old.
If you're looking at, I mean, unless they get, Tropical America's 2027, Monsters Inc. 2028, Cars 2029, and possibly Villains 2030, and that's being very aggressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that gives them a major opening every year, which we know that they love. They'll hold off on stuff. They're going to build those 3 lands starting. I don't know when they're going to start. I don't know if they're going to start on Villains with Cars, but those first 3, they're going to build at the same time.
Right.
They will not open at the same time.
No.
Now, obviously, there's a huge difference between building an indoor boat ride for Encanto and an entire indoor roller coaster on a whole new system you haven't used. You know what I mean, in your parks.
Yeah.
So it's understandable that would take longer. Same with
testing
with Cars.
Right.
That's going to take a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you think about the time it'll take to even be able to pour the first bit of foundation.
Yeah.
Because they've got to dredge everything out. They've got to fix all the water systems. They've got to fill everything in. Mm-hmm. If it's anything like they had to, now I know you're filling in technically the first floor there. You know what I mean? But still, I don't know what kind of fill-in you have to do and what time it takes.
What if they don't have to fill in some of it because a car is going to go down?
Then that would be amazing. And we'll see if they do some of that. But I will say every single land at Epic, and again, I've always said they're not in competition.
Right.
They are, but they aren't.
Right.
Disney and Universal. And the fact that they are, we all win. But Disney definitely has to take note of the way these lands look in Epic.
Yeah.
Because they're unbelievable.
Yeah, they are.
Again, I don't even feel right calling them lands there because they're not. They are worlds.
Yeah.
Like it's
100%.
absolutely mind blowing.
100%.
And it's still not my favorite park. And even when we go back, I don't think it's going to become my favorite park.
No.
But what they've done there is incredible.
Yeah.
And I do think that Disney has a lot of kind of catching up to do in that sense.
Right.
But then Universal has a ton to do with half of Islands of Adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have all of
Why haven't
the
they
Lost
done
Continent shut down.
Stuff there is now. Were they waiting for Epic and then they're going to go, all right, now let's...
I would assume, but it wouldn't shock me. They might look at the expansion plots at Epic before they ever look at touching Islands. You know? I mean, again, because the thing is, those lands aren't necessarily in disarray. They're just not good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, Superhero Island's a great land with great rides. Mm-hmm. But it's not what anybody wants to see nowadays. Now, obviously, they can't let that go.
Right.
But, so that should probably answer that question.
All right. Well, we will round this one out with our favorite boardwalk memory.
I feel like we have the least amount here. Like how many times we stayed at Boardwalk? 3-4 times? Maybe?
Yeah, and I always forget, we should try because we do like it. That was one of basically almost like Jeremy's hot takes.
It was like a contemporary where I didn't get it for a long time.
And then you stayed.
And I was like, okay.
I remember one of the first times, it's not a favorite, but I think, were we here with John and Michelle and we stayed?
Yeah, it's when we went to see Maroon 5 at the Kia Center.
And then...
and they used their DVC points and got us our own room, and they had their own room, and that was the first time we ever stayed here.
Because that was really cool, and I was and then of course, we have total memories of Kat and Michael.
We've visited here a lot with them.
But we've also stayed here.
Yes, we have.
And then, what was it, one of the nights you were carrying one of the kids back down the hall because it was forever away.
Here at Boardwalk? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. We did have that room one time. Same thing like you get one at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Right.
You're like, I need an Uber, to get to my room. It's so far away. One, it just pops up in my mind. We were here with Kat and Michael. I don't think we were staying here. And I forget where we were going that night, but I needed pants. And I didn't have any. And so Michael lent me his. We're not exactly the same size. So these were quite tight on me.
Yeah, they were.
And I just went around and walked in them all night. We have some great photos in the scary chairs down in the lobby. And I wore that bright yellow shirt with the Mickey heads all over, kind of retro looking shirt.
Yeah.
Which also isn't great because that's one of those shirts where, even in extra large, they don't come down enough. They go right to where my waistline is. So any movement of my arms in the northern fashion means that shirt comes up, belly shows, and nobody wants that. And that's why I stopped wearing that shirt. It's the same kind. I don't know who they're made for. They're made for, I guess, somebody who weighs as much as me but's 5'4". It doesn't really make any sense because the width and all is great. It's that it's that length of the shirt.
Right, because you're tall.
But that was one of my favorites. But I think we have a lot of memories to make here if we can start getting back here.
Yeah.
It's one we need to look at with the way rates have been. It's one of those that I can chat with Amy and say, hey, just we'll keep an eye, and if something crops up where hey, let's come down for a night or whatever, then we can go ahead and do that.
Welcome to a resort complex with 2 themes, but one common goal: an immersive and magical guest experience. An experience you'll find right here at Disney's Yacht and Beach Club Resorts.
All right, we're at our final stop of our 800th episode deluxe tour extravaganza. Is what I've just deemed it. And we are at Yacht and Beach Club.
Yes.
Or as Lucy and Caleb call it, Beach and Yacht Club.
But we're at Yacht.
We're at Yacht of the Yacht and Beach. For a very long time, until we actually came over to this area, those first years we started coming, I thought it was one resort. You know, like it literally was Yacht and Beach Club. And it was one entire resort as opposed to sister resorts.
Right.
You know, because it's together. It's not like Riverside and French Quarter that got some space between them.
Right.
So,
well, tell them where we're sitting.
We are upstairs on the second floor, right above the lobby. It's kind of like a catwalk area, I guess, that goes all the way around the top. It's got some quiet areas. There is the boat steering wheel thing. Seriously, what is it called?
I can't think. My brain's blank too.
And we know what it is.
I know.
And right now, we've done so much these 2 days, hopping from resort to resort, and we're recording all this the weekend that we're doing Starlight for the first time, Test Track for the first time. So yeah, it's been a very busy weekend, but we're gonna wrap up this episode with kind of some wrap up questions. What does hitting 800 episodes mean to you or us? It may be.
Well, it to me obviously means the world because of y'all listening, and I, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I've always said, like, we couldn't do this without y'all.
Yeah.
So hitting 800 is huge and shocking, I think. There's multiple times that I never thought that this would happen.
Going this far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I don't see it ending.
I know, which is crazy.
That's the weird part.
Because if I think in my head, what does 800 more episodes look like? I'm like, what are we going to do for all those? You know what I mean?
Well, a lot.
And yeah, I mean, it does mean a lot. 800 episodes in the podcast world is often unheard of.
Yes, it is.
And that's because people either give up too soon or they don't get a wonderful community around them like we have.
Right.
You know, which is understandable because if we didn't have this, we would have given up. We would have stopped.
100%.
You know, I used to always say like, oh, we'd still do this podcast even if nobody was listening. No, not at this point. I wouldn't. Right. I wouldn't be able to keep doing this without listeners and support. It just it wouldn't make sense because it is exhausting at times. You know, so yeah, but it is awesome. And I mean, hopefully we make it to 900.
I'm sure we will.
Alrighty. What is something we've learned about each other through the show?
I don't know. I mean, what? Can you say something you've learned about me? You learned about that woman in the hot tub.
Yeah, I did. I mean, yeah, you're naturally good at this.
Oh, I don't think I am. Like, thank you.
Yeah, well, for people that don't know, like, you come in and sit down, and I throw a whole bunch of stuff at you and say, we're going to talk about this for an hour, you know, and we'll go through some notes and we'll make some comparisons. And some of the notes we build together, like when we're doing lists, you know, we'll build like, hey, and we'll usually go like, we have a top 10 list. You do your top 10, I'll do my top 10, and then we'll kind of combine them and make our own. But for the most part, I mean, you come in, you sit down, you knock it out, you get up and you leave. Like, so it's pretty impressive. That's not easy to do, I think. So, other than that, I think we know enough about each other from being married for 19 years and spending most waking moments with each other than when you're at work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's 24/7. So, I feel like we know quite a bit.
I started to say, you know, I feel like the only thing I can say is I've learned a little more behind the scenes of like you getting sober through the podcast because I'll admit to people that shockingly, as much as Jeremy talks, as much as he's not a good
I'm a horrible communicator.
Yes.
In person.
Yeah.
I'm an awful in-person or phone call.
Yeah.
Any live interaction.
Even with me.
I'm not good.
If everybody's like, what? No. Even with his own wife of 19 years.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of things he'll tell me through a text, or that's where probably the book came from. The whole joke, I kept joking because he just can put into words things that are just amazing. And I would joke him because his brother wrote a book, so I was like, you should write a book. You should write a book. And because a lot of people have been reaching out to him and asking questions and doing stuff that I'm like, and when he took it and he's now running with it, I'm like, oh wow, like I was surprised. But I think this is the best source for him. And it's funny because I've even told people the one thing I hope I get, and I'll just have to notch out time to do it, is read it before it ever comes out, because I think there'll be things in there that I will learn for the first time ever.
100%. And if you don't follow us on social, even if you do, because not all social gets seen, I guess that's kind of an announcement. I am writing, it's fine because I put it on social, but not everybody sees social. So I'll talk about it now, though.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was going to say something about it with probably a future question here coming up. So, so I decided after we went to Austin, and I kind of had that amazing clarity moment at the concert at the Blue October show, and I came back and I wrote about it and put it out and made a blog and all. It got great responses and everything, and I was like, you know what? Like, I need something, and I love this podcast. I'm not sure if it's my purpose anymore. Not that I want to stop it or anything, but I think this is the book that I'm writing, which is going to be about sobriety and music, in the way that music helped me through all of that. So it's going to be this full book on that, and I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing now. And what I'm hoping is if enough people like this book that comes out, it's going to be, I think, interesting and different. It's basically just kind of my brain in a book. So, which is basically like watching a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
Like nothing's in order, and there's derailments and there's stuff, and I'm writing it in that fashion, of just the way that I think and all. But it's the way that music and sobriety go together. And what I'm hoping, if people do enjoy this enough, is starting a nonprofit charity about music and sobriety and stuff, and those types of things. So I was already starting to do some research and look at what it would take to start that, because now I think my ultimate goal, however long in the future would be, is to have a sober music festival. So it'd only be sober artists, there would be no alcohol served there, but there'd be plenty of, fun non-alcoholic beverages and non-alcoholic beers. And it wouldn't just be for people who don't drink or who are sober. It'd be for everyone, but It would be a safe space and a comfortable space for sober people to go and see a concert without having to stand next to someone who drinks 2 buckets of, 16-ounce aluminum bottle Miller Lights.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it should be cool. I'm hoping it's going to come out March 10th, 2026, which will be my 2-year birthday. And I'm about halfway through it in the first draft now. Working title is Still Loud, Now Clear. And so, it should be cool. So we'll move on to the next one, because this actually will probably tie into it. If we had to start a new podcast tomorrow, what would it be about?
Oh.
This book. I mean, and most likely I will do a podcast. I'm not sure what that will look like yet about this. I don't know what it'll look like yet. It might just be a once-a-month thing that has some excerpts from the book, or I might look at having some guests on and see. I can start a friend of mine, Dave Teef, who's the lead singer for Laughing Colors back in Maryland, who is a sober artist and has battled addiction for years and been in and out of it and all. I have a whole story about him in the book, and when I reached out to him back in 2017, and so I guarantee, I could have him on a podcast. I could have him, and my goal is to have, so if anybody knows anyone with any connection more than I do, which really isn't anything, I would love to get Justin Furstenfeld from Blue October to write the foreword for the book.
Yeah.
And if I can't get him, then I'll ask Dave to do it, and I'm sure Dave will do it. So that's what I think I would do, and I probably will. Well, if we were to start another podcast tomorrow,
me,
you and I.
Oh, me and you, yeah.
Yeah, or even let's just say we were to restart this one. I know we kind of talked about this earlier at one of the other resorts. About if you could re-record episode 1 and all, but like, would you change anything in the way that it's done? Like, would you want to go, you know what, I'd rather be a podcast that strictly focuses on this part of Disney, or do you like that we're just kind of the everything?
I like that we're everything, because that's one thing, like when I tell clients and stuff, if they ask about it, it's one thing I will do and say. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I feel like you name it, we do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, and that's where I always joke and say it's really, like, I love that Disney's always changing.
I know. Yeah.
So,
it keeps us coming back and getting content and all.
So,
how often, if we didn't have the podcast, how often do you think we'd come to Disney?
I don't know. I mean, I would still say very similar, but I think we would give up. I think we would come often, but I think we would give up the months to do other things. Like, Edward was talking about coming to see them in Gatlinburg. I love the Smoky Mountains and that, and I'd love to go back and get a cabin and do something like that.
We don't go to Disney World for 2 or 3 months and we take all that money so that we could visit whatever, go to Disneyland Paris or Tokyo or something like.
And I still would like to do that.
I would still want to come here though as often as we could, because I do. I do
too. And I think now though, like if you were like, all right, let's say there is none. Let's say, instead of saying what would we do tomorrow if we started a brand new podcast,
what would we do tomorrow if we ended this?
Yes. That's the real question, because I don't think I could ever come to Disney now and, like, for example, the new stuff that we were just talking about from Caramel Crusade. Like, I would still want to get new, and ooh, that's new, let's get it.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, oh, we don't have to. Or just do it because we want to.
Right.
And then I think I'd have to get out of that, like, weird, like, because, my mind is always still working in the background.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
always has been.
Even when we came, like when I came with Kaylin and Talon, or we came with, Matt and Tina for Main Street 16 weekend, like, it's still, and those were 2 awesome weekends for me. That was just like, old, just doing it as though we didn't have a podcast, but still, you're always fixated on that. Like we saw again, we're recording this, a couple weeks before. It's the weekend that Bourbon Steak in Swan and Dolphin is opening up.
Yep.
And it's going to open Saturday night. We're recording right now on a Friday. It's soft opened last night. They put out reservations on Open Table, so we grabbed a 7:30 reservation for tonight, which changed our plans that we were going to technically have. Not that they were set in stone.
What were we going to do?
Well, we were going to go to Disney Springs and do dinner there, probably at the Edison, because they have the blue crab dip. And then, we're probably going to do something like that, or maybe even go back to the resort and, check out a movie, whatever it may be. I don't think we'd be as fixated to do something like that as quickly. You know what I mean? Like, we would be like, because we already talked about doing it with Chuck and Amy in September. So I would easily wait for that. But when I saw it soft open and I saw that we're here, or John alerted me, I was like, we have to go do it. And we're not a first podcast.
No.
And we never want to be.
No.
We never want to be a first podcast, and we never want to be a news podcast. We will share those things with you.
100%.
And sometimes we will be a first, but it's not like we're not, clawing our way to be the first person to dine at Bourbon Steak. And again, the reason we don't is because so many other people are so good at it, including someone like John, who we now have in the field.
Exactly.
And
because he lives here. And that's what I was going to say. And because he told us, it was almost like, all right, we're here, our turn.
Yeah. And John's very busy these 2 days that we are here.
And he'll get there, and he'll tell his thoughts.
Yep. And so,
But
everybody
has an opinion.
They do. What is one message you want listeners to, I guess, hear loud and clear or know from us?
Oh, like, I don't know, please leave us a rating review because it helps our show grow.
I hope they hear that loud and clear. We're going to have, actually, you know what? The end of this episode is probably when we'll make the change of no longer having you say that, because I'm going to start working on an email list. And so I think we're going to start ending episodes with that. So, yeah. I mean, no, mine would be just, we say this all the time when you come to Disney. Don't let your trip be determined by a checklist of what you do and do not do.
Right.
Have the checklist. You're going to. We have one this weekend.
Right.
For work stuff, because this is a content weekend. But if we don't get to everything, I'm not going to go home and be like, well, that wasn't successful. We didn't do these 2 things.
Right.
And it should be the same for your trip. You might not get to ride Tron.
Right.
It's not the end of the world. And the fact that you didn't ride Tron shouldn't even outweigh a single other thing you did that was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that's just what I want.
Focus on the core good memories.
Yes. Yeah. Focus on those. Yeah. The good core memories.
Because if you did ride Tron, and I know you've said it, don't have a checklist, but when you have it and it doesn't go your way, I mean, it does. It's just going to upset you.
Oh, yeah.
Just try not to let it, and then have so many more other core memories, good ones, that if you do miss it,
it's not going to matter in the end.
Right.
Yeah. So, and yeah, just it because some of my favorite memories have nothing to do with getting on a ride.
Yeah.
Most of them have nothing to do with getting on a ride.
Right.
Now, some of them have to do with trying to get on the ride, like, for example, the opening of Rise of the Resistance. You know what I mean? Like, and we were there for that at 3 a.m. or whatever.
Oh, my Lord.
That was part of the ride. But, I think of times waiting in lines for rides.
Yeah.
When we had my whole family here and the kids were young and we were trying to entertain them in Indiana Jones stunt show queue.
Yep.
And we had a half cup of water, and my brother said, let's see who can balance it on their head the longest. You want to occupy 5 little kids, get a half a cup of water, and challenge them to balance it on their head the longest.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And to me, that's such a great memory, and that could have happened anywhere.
100%.
And so I think that's, people focus way too much on, and I understand why.
I agree.
I spend a lot of money.
Yep.
I have to do these things.
Yep.
If we don't, it wasn't worth it. If, this and that, but that's only in your own mind.
Correct.
And again, that's something when this book comes out, it's not just a sobriety book. It is a mental health book, through and through. So that it's things like this as well.
Right.
Because, that's all you have when you take home is the actual memories. So which ones do you want to take home?
Correct.
The good or the bad?
Right.
What is your, speaking of memories, favorite yacht or beach club memory? For having only stayed at yacht club once.
I just started to say.
And only stayed at beach club
probably
technically once.
Right.
And we crashed on the couch with Chuck and Amy, and then I slept on a couch years ago when BK Lounge invited me down for a Moonlight Madness. I feel like I have a lot of memories here.
Yeah.
For how many times we've been to Ale and Compass with Kat and Michael and stuff.
When I sanitized the couch.
When you sanitized the couch coming out of COVID, and we went to Ale and Compass, and we were just being as cautious as could be and didn't know any better at the time, and you sanitized the couch.
Because we all were sitting on it.
We were, yeah.
They laughed at me so hard.
Father's Day weekend, June 2019.
Yeah.
We went on Friday night. 21 Pilots played at the Jacksonville Memorial Arena back home, and we took the kids. That, I believe, was their first official concert, if you don't count Imagination Movers, years ago, which, by the way, was so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
Kaylin doesn't remember them at all.
Aww,
I brought it up the other day, and she's like, who? I was like, the Imagination Movers. You were obsessed with them. We went to a concert, and she's like, I don't remember any of that. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
So
she was older.
We went to that. A little bit, yeah. So we went to that concert Friday night, and then we came down for a 2-night stay at Yacht Club. Yes, we were going to stay somewhere around. Anyway, days might be off. So we came and we did Yacht Club, and it was about the weekend after Three Bridges had opened. But I remember the girls each got an extra large 21 Pilots sweatshirt, and this was the Bandito tour. So they're green, and they got yellow writing and all. And we have so many photos. We have a great photo of them at the boat steering wheel, whatever the heck that thing is called, right? And so then the one night we went to Three Bridges. And if you go back, we kind of mentioned this, but this will be almost like a little insight. So after we went to Three Bridges, you remember that night, and I won't say names and all, but we spoke with a friend of ours who's a cast member at Coronado, and he said, how was Three Bridges? And our first trip, we were like, it was a little bit of a letdown, we were a little bit disappointed. And he's like, oh, okay. And so we came back, we were here at Yacht Club, and I will never forget, because this person, all I ever did was exchange texts, and I get a phone call from him. And I answer, I'm like, why is he calling me? And he said he had talked to the wonderful manager at Three Bridges, and she invited us back that second night to come back and try it again. And it was on them. Like, again, we are as honest and transparent as we can be.
100%.
If we don't pay for something, we will tell you.
Yeah.
Because we pay for 99.9% of everything we do here. So there are not many freebies coming to Main Street Magic.
Nope.
But yeah, so we went and we did that. And we were supposed to check out the morning that they wanted us to come back that night.
Right.
So I went online, I don't even know if we had advisors at the time, and booked a night at Coronado. And we went over there, and I believe it was when you had purchased that blue dress with the white pattern that is very Coronado looking. Mm-hmm. And we did a bunch of photos out in the courtyard. We were in Ranchos there. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday. So it wasn't like a specific yacht and beach memory as much as it was that whole weekend, which was grounded at the Yacht Club. Yeah. And I fell in love with this resort. It's still possibly my favorite, like, standard studio room that we've ever stayed in.
I remember the first time staying because of then obviously with the kids doing Storm Along Bay. Yeah. And just the same.
How you doing?
That's good. That's why we're trying to do this.
I would say mine would probably be obviously the first time we stayed here and with the kids and Storm Along Bay. Like, I didn't care where we were staying, the yacht, beach, whatever, one room. Yeah. I just was super excited, and just that was really cool.
I'm so glad that we did it when we did it, because like, if we had never stayed here and we came now, it'd be such a different experience. Like, because they wouldn't be sitting there playing in the sand the whole time. You know what I mean? And like, they loved doing that. So, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that was fun, and I hope you all learned some new stuff. And
I know I did.
Me too.
It was fun. I really enjoyed this one, doing this type of thing, and then I enjoyed going back and editing and listening through to it as well.
Nice.
But lots of good stuff still coming up, including the next 100 episodes until we get to 900.
Woo!
So we'll see what all that looks like. If you want to hear all those, you got to hit subscribe, and you get brand new episodes every single Tuesday and Friday. And now we got to come up with a new catchphrase at the ending, because we're going to switch it up. And we obviously would love if you could leave us a rating and review, because why?
It does help our show grow.
It does. But we'd be even more appreciative if you can go out to our website, mainstmagic.com. You will see on every single page at the bottom there is a spot to subscribe to our email list. If you want to go ahead and do that, we've got some cool stuff coming up that you will want to be on email list to find out all about. So go to mainstmagic.com and give us your email list and subscribe. I promise we will not send you as many emails as Coles does. But with all that being said, that's it for us, and we will see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.